All right, we'll give it a few minutes for everyone to join and get situated. We got a good one tonight for you all. So let's see. Give everybody time to join. I'm so excited y'all get to come into my world.
Yeah,
Yes.
thank you for
Thank you
having
for
us.
having us.
Thank you for having us. Yes, it's exciting.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Good one tonight for you all. Oh look, I was like, wait, what's going on?
Yeah,
Give everybody time to
that's me
join.
sharing.
Yeah, no, I got you. I'm so excited y'all get to come into my world.
Let me mute
Yeah. And it used to go live on TikTok, but TikTok's changed some rules, so I got
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I had to apply to go live again, so that's just
Hmm.
like pending. But nonetheless,
No.
so all right, we got a couple people joining in, and then like people can also chat, and when they chat, I can see what's in the chat as well, so that way I can ask you all like any questions or anything that may come up.
Great.
Yeah, it's everybody's time
okay.
to get to know us. So, all right, I'm gonna give it 10 seconds, and then I'm gonna go right into it.
I'm gonna share.
Sounds great.
All right. Hey, everybody. It's your girl, Cece, the hostess with the mostest. And I am back for a live recording of The Bottom Line Is. And as you see, I have some beautiful women with me tonight. And if you've been following me, you know that for the last, I guess, 2 months, I have been on a journey in a pageant called Miss Corporate America, representing the Maryland area. And we just had the pageant this past Saturday. It was a phenomenal event with some phenomenal people and sponsors. And, we just still on that high and we want to talk about it. We want to let you all know the real deal. And, feel free to ask us any questions that you may have. But without further ado, I'm going to let the ladies go ahead and tell you a little bit about who they are. So I'm going to start with Christina.
Okay. So I'm Christina Kelly. I proudly got to represent Towson, Maryland. I work at the Towson Chamber of Commerce as the member coordinator. And I'm so honored and privileged. And thank you for having us on. And I just love you ladies. And I'm just excited to talk.
Awesome. LaRasha.
Hello, everyone. My name is Larasha, and I am representing Miss Capitol Heights, Maryland. I definitely can say I have enjoyed sharing this moment with you ladies and look forward to continuing our growth and sisterhood.
Yes. Daisy.
I am Daisy Teixeira, and I represent the Frederick, Maryland area. For me, this was a wonderful opportunity for so many reasons. Many of them you ladies already shared with, but I think most importantly is to grow, right? We are here in a journey in this life, and we're always trying to learn more things, and this was definitely that journey for me. I joined within less than a month, so I had a month to prepare. It was exciting. It was a little bit nervous wracking, but I'm so proud that we did it. And then to have a sisterhood to continue that journey and hold hands together, to me, that's one of the most amazing takeaways of the whole experience.
No, for sure. And Daisy, I was thinking the whole time when you were talking, so you're like the baby of the group, like the
Ah,
baby to join. At first, I was,
absolutely.
and I was like, oh man, I said I really came in late to this, but then when you came in, I was like, oh, all right, I'm not the last one.
I don't even know
Oh,
how I had the time to prepare. It was
no, you
crazy.
did good. You did
Not.
good that time. Please understand.
Yes.
And Katrina.
Good evening. My name is Katrina, and I'm proudly representing White Marsh, Maryland. I am a family nurse practitioner specializing in reproductive health, currently working with the Baltimore City Health Department. I also am an owner of two businesses, the Trina's Trinkets, where I do specialized personalized and customized goods, and I also sell paparazzi jewelry. So I am so happy to be here, so proud of Sierra, so glad that we have our sister queens here to celebrate with us today.
No, for sure. And I think, it's also good. I wanted to do this episode because we're near the closing of Women's History Month. And I think it's, very good to highlight that we all have a story. We've all gone through a journey, and that has helped to shape us to be the women that we are today. And and like I said before, I'm a very humble person, and I feel like, even though I'm crown queen, I feel like I represent everyone that is a part of our journey. And we are missing some queens tonight, but we still recognize them as well and thank them for being a part of the sisterhood. And one thing, when we all first met out Greenbelt, and that was like our first time, well, for everybody seeing each other, I guess we can say. And one thing that stuck out, I think it might have been Mackenzie that had asked about why we did it or what we want to take away from. And when Katrina had spoken, she said, I think I already got it. It's the sisterhood. That stuck with me. And, most people, when they think of sisterhood, you think initially your birth sisters or your line sisters if you're in a sorority. But I think it's important that people really, understand what the sisterhood is that we all share, and the bond and the journey and things of that nature. And I don't know if Katrina, you want to kind of elaborate like on what you meant in that, and feel free everybody else to chime in, whatever.
Yeah, sure. So I have two sisters of, well, actually one biological sister and a sister-in-law, two sister-in-law. So I call them my sisters, but anybody that I come close to that I can connect with that have like that either share the same journey that I have, or just I felt like we just kind of had this bond. We had never met each other before outside of Zoom calls. So being able to like have that network was really like the best experience, especially going through what I was going through. I needed that kind of feminine support at that time. So that you guys like kind of locked me in, like it gave me something to do. So that's what I felt like, that sisterhood, just being able to network, like knowing that LaRasha sells candles and like just knowing everybody that I can reach out to if I need something from somebody, and you guys are like there for me whenever that's the sisterhood to me.
No, that's awesome.
And for me, I'll say, so I have two older sisters as well. I'm not as close with my older sisters, but just being here, I'm originally from South Carolina. I have been in the area for almost 10 years, but I have actually struggled to find my tribe. And so being a part of this pageant, I feel like this is what I've been missing, because I have wanted to connect with other like-minded women, whether it's, you're doing something with the chambers, you're doing something with photography, you're doing something with caregiver. It doesn't matter. It's like we're still like-minded. We all have a goal, in mind, whether it is to advance in corporate America, or we have our platforms that we're trying to, push forward. So I was so excited about it, and still am excited, because I feel like this is what I was missing when it came to my tribe, which is the sisterhood. I am a part of a sorority, but it's not the same feeling.
No, for sure. I definitely feel that, for sure. And, we were kind of talking a little bit before we went live too about our journey to the pageant. And I think it's important too to talk about like what we did as a group and then what we did individually, to prepare for the journey. And so I know every week we had Zoom calls, as you mentioned, with our program director, Dr. Alethea, and on those Zoom calls, and or in addition to those Zoom calls, we had speakers and guests to talk about interview prep. We had like our presence prep, like the tea stands that we had to learn, photography prep. We had a lot of, cool things. And it's very important because I think some people, and I can't speak for other pageants, okay, but I feel like other pageants may not give you all of that. So I really feel happy that we got to experience all of that firsthand learning together, because it really does prepare us for the journey that is to come ahead. That makes sense.
I definitely can agree. As I mentioned, and as you were mentioning before as well, like with the different workshops. So I am stepping into a leadership role in the next couple of weeks on my job. And so, that confidence, just being able to speak, articulate what it is that I'm trying to get across to my workers, just in my business as well. When I'm talking to people about my business, why I started my business, it was that those tools and resources that we were given during training, I can
Mhm.
still take those and use them in my everyday life. And even if it's not necessarily on my job or in my business, I can still just use them in my personal life as well.
No, for sure. That's what it's all about.
And I
And
will say with
yeah,
like MCA being new on a state level and
yeah,
us being the first to represent that, it's like it was an opportunity for both of us to grow, right? So
Yep.
we got to grow with it, which
Yep.
I think is phenomenal. And it for future queens and for future people involved, and being able to do that and take those lessons to help not only us, business and personal, but also to help MCA with that, with future contestants.
Absolutely. Yep.
no, for sure. And so, in addition to the workshop prep, what else did you all do to, help you prepare for the event? And it can
Not
be
enough.
I
I
wish I
can,
had,
yeah.
I wish I had done more, that's for sure.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
in between
well, talk
life
what
and
you
work,
what was the good and the bad of it?
So, like, I feel like, and I think now this really gave me a personal, like a professional goal, which I never really had before. So, being able to articulate what we were just saying and just being able to talk in front of a large crowd, I wish I kind of, and pardon my 9-year-old in the back there, to just like being able to really represent not only myself, but the businesses that I work with, right? So I think I wish I had practiced a little bit more on that and not so much like the outfits and like, did I get the right color? And, even though that was vitally important, I just feel like now I know kind of how to balance that better.
Are
Yeah.
you talking about the purple color?
The purple, the
I think
green,
everybody was stressed out about the purple.
the
Yes.
purple, the
Oh
green
my.
with
that's tough.
accessories. Like I had my cousin, all know Morgan who did my makeup.
Mhm.
And girl, I put her into overdrive with work. I'm like, do these shoes go with this dress? Like, help me out here. So that was a learning experience on its own, that I never thought I would have at 41.
Right.
Yeah.
No, for
For
sure.
me, it was just, I will be honest, it was a lot for me. So I am a cheerleading coach as well. And
Mm,
so I was coming from practice, certain nights when we were doing things, and then it's like, okay, on some of the trainings we had competition the same day. So now I'm having to, miss some of it. So I just, the balance, I think the
mm,
timing was a little bit
mm,
off for me. I didn't realize that it was going to take so much. But outside of that, again, I still enjoyed the trying to find an evening gown, because I actually had my girls to pick my evening gown for me, just to make them a part of it as well. And having my aunt, the good prepping for it, I'm talking to her because she did pageants before, but they were different types of pageants. So just kind of talking to her, having her prep me, walk me through it and stuff. So that would be the good, the good that I took out of it.
No, that's good.
Yeah, same thing with me. I would say I think we started. Everybody kind of started a little late. Like I think it was like December, January ish time frame. Then the pageant was like March. So I know for me, quite frankly, I actually wasn't financially prepared for it. It kind of came up out of nowhere.
mhm,
After I had my miscarriage, I actually caught COVID right after that, and then I was out of work. So it was like back to back. Like Katrina, you don't have a check, so
Yeah.
I'm like struggling, like trying to find this, trying to find that. I was at
mhm,
the thrift store, like, so I was trying to piece it all together, putting it all together, but it was worth it. Like it was so worth it. Just
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like it really,
Yeah.
even though it came with all of that, just whatever we got out of it was amazing. So besides me, not being financially prepared, this can't
Yeah.
be what it is.
Well, you did
Yeah.
good, Miss
Yeah, it hit
Cinderella.
everybody, I guess.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. You did
That
amazing to pull everything together. That dress. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, yes, that dress was just so sweet.
oh, thank
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yes.
amazing.
And for me, I try to work a little bit more on the speech as you know, I wasn't born here, so for me, I had to when I came, I had to learn a new language altogether. And years, after years and years, of course, I can express myself in English, but how to be in front of a crowd and then be in an interview? So for me, there was a lot of preparation there as far as the techniques to express yourself. So I had to learn a few little things that definitely helped me, and I'm still taking in today, as even after the competition. So I think that was the biggest part for me. I still have to, of course, go search for dresses and this and that, but I think that wasn't the main part of my journey. I think the interview part was the most challenging, and I tried to take a little bit more time that I could.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. I would
Yeah.
say for me, the speech. And I enjoy speaking in front of people, but when you want to make sure you get everything that you want to get out, and I had my family numerous times sit and listen to me do the speech up until the moment I went out.
Yeah.
And I told my best friend that was back there, and I told myself too, man up, you gotta do this, man up, what I mean?
Yeah.
And I said, just keep telling me that. And I had a moment before, when we had that break time, and I had just went into the bathroom, and I just felt like I had to get it all out, like I had to have one good cry, just to kind of get it all out of my system. Uh, and for me, in my video, I talked a lot about my great grandmother. So, and well, just my great grandparents in general, but had to envision, them being there in the crowd and watching me. And that's what a lot of my friends, when they shared the post, they kept saying, "Oh, I know your nana was proud," and all that kind of stuff. So, I think for all of us, it had so many, different meanings and so many different things that we had to do to prepare for it. But
And
from
that's why I kept telling you when you were standing beside me talking about, I just want to cry. I'm trying not to cry. Girl, cry. Your grandmother,
Yeah.
if
I
you don't
do
let
not
them
okay.
tears
I do not
out,
like to cry though. I do not like to cry. And I
I
was in the
get
bathroom, I'm like, okay, come on now. This is your time to cry. Let's go. Let's
it.
go.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Like, what's going on? And then when when it came that time when they put the crown on, I had that feeling inside, and I really wanted to cry. And I just was like, hold it together, hold it
Oh,
together.
Hold it
Don't
together.
let your makeup mess up.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
so
No.
it's a lot of different things, in that moment too. But I felt like every time we all went on that stage, we turned it on,
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
and I
Yeah.
know towards the end it was like a lot of changes and things that were
Mhm.
coming up, and
Yeah.
we went with the flow, which is what women do.
Yeah.
yes,
Roll with the
yes.
punches
Yeah.
Yep.
and make it do what it do. So I am glad for that, that we did that. But also I want to talk about, the emotional and mental prep far as, and as some of you have said it before too, but that self-doubt or that imposter syndrome that I'm sure we all face
Hmm.
in the beginning, like, oh, are we good enough? Or, oh, are we sure we signed up for the right thing? Like,
Mhm.
what are they going to think when I go out there? How are we going
Mhm.
to look? Talk about, how you got through that or what you experienced with that.
I will say, so I am, and I think it comes from my trauma. I'm the type of person, the emotional aspect of it for me was more so of the validation. I was seeking validation from friends and family and stuff, and when I didn't really get that,
Mhm.
it was a lot. I'll be
Mhm.
honest with you, it really was a lot. I'm still struggling with it now.
Mhm.
Um, I'm having to talk to myself constantly. Whenever the thoughts start rolling, it just starts playing in my mind. I just try to change it to something positive. Like cheer for yourself, girl. You did it. This is something that a lot of people probably wanted to do, but they didn't have the courage to do it, and you did it.
Mhm.
But I have also said that I will no longer be showing up for people who don't show up for me.
That's right.
Hmm.
Stop filling other people's cups. Fill
Yeah.
Yeah.
your cup.
Yeah.
Because I am very big on that. As I mentioned all the time, I'm that person that loves to cheer everybody else on.
Mhm.
But when it comes to myself, unfortunately, I don't give myself the same grace. I'm not cheering myself on like that. So I said, going forward, I'm rooting for me. I'm cheering for me, and I'm cheering and rooting and supporting those who do the same for me.
Well, honey, now you got 8 cheerleaders right
I
Yeah.
know,
behind your
right?
back.
Yeah.
And use
Yes.
us like your
You're
AA. When
stuck
that
with
self
us.
doubt comes, you text one of us, 100%.
Yeah.
Look, I'm
You're
gonna
stuck
always,
with us. Got a lot of
Yeah.
options now.
look,
Yes.
I'm gonna always cheer for you, but I'm not gonna be on the top of the pyramid or do any flips.
And
Like,
listen, that is totally fine. That like that part is fine.
I just
It's
wanted to
the
interject
showing
that.
up. You know what I'm saying? Like you want people to show up for you the same
Yeah.
way you would hope, because everybody's support is not the same.
Hmm.
However, you just would hope that they would show up in some shape, form, or fashion the
Hmm.
same way that you show up
Show
for
up
them.
for them. Yeah.
That's really,
Yeah.
so the emotional, that was more so my struggle throughout the pageant,
Hmm.
and even after, now that it's over, we're going on what, a week, that has still been a struggle
Uh-huh.
for me.
Right.
Yeah.
Hmm. But
I
that's
agree.
why we should surround ourselves with people that are like-minded.
Hmm.
I think as we grow and we start differentiating people that should be and shouldn't be in our lives, we start being more selective. And I think
Mhm.
that's part of growing and in acknowledging that. So, no, you don't have to be friends with everybody. You do the best you can, but if they cannot do that in return, you're the one who decides if they get to stay or not.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
So,
true.
Yeah.
That's true.
yeah,
That's very
yeah.
true.
Yeah. I was gonna say
100%.
for me, I'm like Russia. I didn't have the team there. My family, ironically, the people in my family, my mom couldn't be there, my brother and sister and their kids, like everybody had something to do that weekend. So my tribe was a little smaller than what I would have liked. And even just throughout the pageant, you like you said, you get some people that are there for you, some people that are questioning you. And then after you get to where you are, they're like, "Oh, Katrina, your dress was beautiful." You get all these likes and things, and it's like, "Well, you support me when I was selling my pizza or doing this and
Mhm.
that," or you get some people that didn't congratulate me so days later that were very close to me. Like, you kind of like, but in the back of my mind, I'm like, I got what I needed out of the pageant,
Yep.
so I
Yep.
have
Hmm.
to think about who
Yeah.
did do what and who wasn't there because my
Yep.
was fulfilled. But I get
Yep.
it. People aren't showing up in the way that you want them to. It is a little, it kind of plays with your mind a little bit because you
Mhm.
It
second
does.
guess
And
yourself.
yeah. I
Yeah,
Yep.
but
mean,
that's what we should focus on. It's on the good things that we took out of this experience. You can't.
Right.
mhm.
I think it's best for us to focus on the positive and give our energy to what is to come,
Yes, I
then
agree.
keep going back, and giving our energy, our time, our thoughts to people that doesn't really, deserve that, I would say.
Yeah, I agree.
Mhm.
No, for sure. And so, and I had like the opposite effect, which was, you know, like everybody showed up, and I said to one of my friends, I said people that I didn't expect to show, like,
Showed up.
came,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
one of my friends actually came from Seattle
Oh wow.
for
Yes.
Wow.
and one person came from Frederick. Like it was, a lot of those guys.
Oh yeah.
And I said, I didn't even get this much support at graduation. I think I was saying that to myself. Like,
That's
I
so
was like,
sweet.
oh, wow. And,
Yeah.
it was, and so, but I like to think that, everybody there overall was cheering for us all, all
All
together.
together.
All
Yeah.
of the other queens in the audience from other competitions
Yeah.
were
Yeah.
there,
Yeah.
cheering on. And
Yeah.
I remember, I think me and you, Daisy, we was in the restroom and we saw a
Yes.
couple of the queens, and they were giving us last minute advice, and it was just
Mhm.
like that tribe and community. So
Yeah.
I say all that to say, it comes when it needs to come.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I
It
agree.
might not be all what we expect and how we expect it, but it's going to come from other ways.
Yeah.
So just keep pushing through.
Yeah, I will say one of the judges I talked to before and then after said how he was so impressed the level that we set, that he was not expecting that. Not that he was expecting it to be bad, but just like he was very impressed
Yeah.
with all of us, and just how he found it a really hard time to judge, he just the level that
I
we all
heard
put
that
it out
too.
there was just amazing.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think we definitely, for the first state doing this, I think we definitely set the
Set
bar
the
high.
bar.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
100%. Yeah,
Question.
100%.
I agree.
So, what did you all do after?
Cried and then ate pizza.
I went and got in the bed. I went and I got my aunt was in the room with me. So we sat up and talked for a little while. I reflected. My mother is deceased. And so I just thought about and, just told her how much I appreciated her, not just for showing up for that, but just showing up in my life even after, my mom passed away. And so I told her, even though my mom wasn't physically there, it was like she was there.
Yeah.
So just sharing, just the moments, the prepping of it, just my thoughts and stuff, being able to lay in the bed and share that with my aunt, that's literally what I
Oh,
did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know we had talked about that too. Like your aunt is an extension of your mom,
Hmm.
mhm.
and seeing her backstage with you and, like the connection. And then when you were talking about like what you were going to do with your aunt before she goes back home and stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah, no, I,
Oh.
I, I am happy that you had that, for
Thank
sure.
you.
For
Thank you.
sure. What about y'all? What else did y'all do after?
I went
But
across the street to the Marriott Hotel because the restaurant was still open. I was so we went to go and we were reflecting. But what's crazy, I was actually watching the Facebook Live, like it was, I guess, replaying
mhm.
something because we couldn't see the show, but I could tell that the show was good. But then watching it again, I said,
Hmm.
"Well, that was good. Like it was amazing. I really
Yeah.
enjoyed watching it." So I'm sitting there in the restaurant watching it and talking about this and that. It was yeah. But after that, I went to bed. I was tired. Yeah.
Yeah, same here. Just went to bed. I'm like, ugh. And next day, I didn't want to get up. I was just, soaking in. I went
Mhm.
ate something and back to bed again. I was
Yeah.
exhausted.
Yeah, it's like we were on an adrenaline high from when the
Yeah.
pageant first started, like the prep for the pageant to now.
Yeah.
It was just
Yeah.
like crash. And I I know I was hungry, and then I just was like all over the place. I didn't know, my friends had packed up my stuff. I didn't know where nothing was. I just, yeah, I was like, oh, okay. And
Yeah.
so
I
I was like,
It
I
was
don't know
amazing after walking
like,
because all the people that were in that hotel. So when
oh
I
yeah.
was heading back from the pageant area back up to like my room and then back down to the restaurant, all the people that I didn't even know were
Hmm.
like, "Congratulations, good job, good job." I'm like, I didn't even win. Like, you know what I mean? Just the amount of people and supportive of all of us was just amazing. Right.
Yeah.
And then running into other queens and the founders and everything, it was just, it was great.
Yeah, I know. When
Yeah.
by the time I got to the back, everybody was gone. So I was like, "Oh well, dang, I can't take no picture with nobody."
Sorry.
So I was like, only ones in the room left, and so I was like,
Yeah,
"Well,
I
all right."
left out.
Tired.
Yeah, I
Just
was, let's get out of this
tired.
stress and get something
Oh
to eat.
gosh, yeah, I know.
Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't put my grandmother in the bed till midnight, and
Oh.
Yeah.
she was fine. We were just all just up talking, and then like I said,
Yeah.
I got up, took her to church, and I went to brunch. When I got home from brunch, the way that I jumped in that bed so fast and was
Mm,
sleeping 1:30 to 9, put her in the bed, and went back to bed until 6 a.m.
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
I was
Yeah.
like, my sleep pattern is really long.
Yeah. This whole week, I have literally I was talking to my aunt before we got on the call.
Mhm.
This week, I literally have found myself because cheerleading is over with as well.
Mhm.
So I have ate. I have called myself going to watch something on TV, and I will lay on the couch, and before I know it, it's 10 o'clock,
10 o'clock.
and I'm waking up to put myself in the bed.
Yeah. It's funny. And my husband, he like makes fun of me and he was just like, he's like, the day after the pageant, he's like, you're gonna be bored. Maybe not the next day, but come Tuesday, I was like, so what am I doing? What's
Yeah.
next? What can I get my hands into? Right? It's just like, I don't know. I'm crazy like that. So I'm
Well,
just
I
like,
got some stuff for you, Tina. Okay,
uh
I got some stuff
oh.
for you. Look, I'll fill that plate for you. Like, so, is there anything in this experience that you all would do differently?
Ooh. Yeah, I think I would practice my speech. If I
Yeah.
think I would have taken a little bit more time to practice speaking in front of others within that time limit. So I think that is now a professional goal of mine.
Yeah, definitely the personal pitch because I've done business pitches. So to do a personal pitch, that was something that I wish that I would have focused on that a little bit more, would have taken it a little bit more seriously versus being like, oh, I got this. You do a business pitch, so you're good. That
Yeah.
is not the same. Those are two different things.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, same here. Same here.
I was gonna say same thing. I think we all agree. I think it was different trying to, and I had practiced it, but the minute I messed up, I totally forgot what I was trying to say, and I was trying to catch back up while trying to make sure I didn't hit the person at the bottom, giving me that 2-minute warning. So just being able to practice that more would probably I would do that different.
Did anybody get the 2-minute warning? I mean, or 10-second warning?
Then, but
No.
I also
Bro, my speech was so fast. I think I did it in like 30 seconds. I was out there. I was like, I'm nervous. I'm just going to end this. Thank you. Good night.
I couldn't see. I felt
But
like I was about to get it, but those lights were shining all in your face. So I don't think I,
mhm.
but who knows?
Does anybody catch themselves practicing their walk, like when you are walking somewhere and or you're standing somewhere, you're like catching
Mm,
yourself? Because literally now when I'm walking, I'm like, okay, I'll do my shoulders, like I need to
Yep.
straighten my shoulders up, or if I'm waiting at lunch for food or whatever, I'm looking at the way that I'm standing. I'm like,
Yep.
okay, is this life now?
Yes, I catch
Oh,
myself holding my fingers like this now when
oh
I'm
yeah.
speaking.
I'll catch myself in that tea stand now. I'm like,
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
That is so
Well,
funny.
what are some misconceptions that you think people have of women in corporate leadership? Since we all have, business background, whether we own our business or do whatever, what are some misconceptions? Because, people always say it's harder for women to climb up the corporate or business ladder. We always have to work even harder than the
Mhm.
rest. I mean, is there any other? I don't think that's a misconception. I think that's a fact. But is anything that you all would want to add in regards to that?
Support. Like I think that there's a misconception of women actually being able to support each other. Look at us. Look at how we have created a sisterhood. We've,
mhm,
created a bond. Yes, life happens. Life is going to continue to happen, but I feel as though this is not the end for us. We're still
mhm,
going to be able to support each other. We have our group chat and stuff, so
mhm,
I think that we'll continue to show up for each other. So I think that's a misconception that is in corporate America, that is in business as well, is that women don't really know how to show up and support each other.
mhm,
yeah.
No, I
And I
definitely that.
I was gonna say I think from a standpoint of um I feel like people misjudge women that are in that have a higher status. They automatically think stereotypically of them. They may feel like, oh,
Mhm.
you're too this bougie.
Mhm.
You
Mhm.
understand. But it's like I worked hard for what I am and where I
mhm,
Mhm.
all of us.
Mhm.
you should, even when it comes down to like dating and things like that. Oh, she's of this standard, you don't want to. It's like there's a fear, and it shouldn't be like that. We're
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
leaders in our way, and it shouldn't have to be a stereotype based off of what success that we have.
Yeah.
Right. And I think when you get to a certain level, people think you have to like you have your everything together,
Mhm.
and that there's no growth, and that's not true. We continue to grow and learn, and we all have our struggles, even at the top.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we got to elevate past that ceiling
Yeah.
Yep.
that people
Yep.
put
I
on.
agree.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Daisy, did you have anything else to add?
I agree with everything you ladies said. I was trying to think that there was anything else. Um, but I think it's, like how hard it is to multitask, even though we are expected to do it, but it's very hard. It's hard to multitask between family and work and, your personal life. Sometimes you leave your personal needs aside so you can get all of those things done. Um, but yes, I agree with everything that has been said.
Hmm.
It's
No,
a
for
lot
sure.
sometimes.
No, for sure. And so, and then, like, on that note, again, saying that we wear multiple hats. I mean, how are you all able to balance your personal lives, your community service, your businesses, or your jobs? How are you all able to balance all of that?
I think
One, what choice do you have?
You learn.
That part.
Yeah.
Uh,
For me, oh, go ahead. No, go ahead, Kristen.
Oh, I
Go
was gonna
ahead.
say planner. And like my planner is my life, and it's highlighted. If it's
mhm,
blue, this is for school, and if this for the kids. Like if I don't have my planner, it's not
mhm,
happening. I forgot about it. So,
Yeah.
like,
I like
100%.
self care, so I will unplug and just do nothing so that I can get myself, together. Because it can be a lot when you are working a corporate America job and you're trying to grow a business. And at that time, again, while we were doing this, I was also a cheerleading coach. This is my first year cheering. So it definitely was a lot, but I was able to get some traveling in, during the time as well, going out of the country. That was something, that I was able to do. And then just taking time to do absolutely nothing.
hmm And I
Yeah.
think if you learn to prioritize, like what's more important, why's your
Yeah.
why, like my daughter comes first.
Yeah.
So, like,
Yeah.
Mhm.
she's priority, right? And then it's like, okay, well, what comes after that? Like community service and then like my job and just making sure that I really be careful about that time of like how many cocktails or hours am I going in the evening, but then make her like field trips and things like that. So just
Yeah.
really making sure that
Mhm.
you're spending like equal amount of times, but that she always comes first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
I
for sure.
believe that delegating is
Mm.
one of the things that made a lot of difference for me. So like as we grow our businesses, we know how much passion and detail we put into building it. But then when it comes to grow, you need to delegate. You need to pass, like move forward, give it to somebody that could do a better job even than you. So
Hmm
you're able to grow and also be part of the other areas of your life, or your family. So you have that balance, which is very, very important. So if you just focus in one area, the other area is going to suffer some way.
Mhm.
So I like all of these plus the delegating activities that you don't have to do, even though you love to do, but sometimes it's better to just let it go and trust somebody that can do it better for you.
Yeah.
hmm
No, I agree with all of that. And, just prioritizing, like you said, what comes first and having that time management and delegating and all that. And one thing I did forget to mention too, like the week leading up to the pageant, I did a lot of self care. And I remember Martis said this when we had the workshop with him, and he was talking about getting stretched and doing this
Yeah.
and doing. I took heed to all that. I went and got
Mhm.
stretched for the first time. I had a
Mm.
massage. I got fluids. I got everything to make sure that I was, A1 for
Yeah.
and loose, because I know for me, if I get stressed out, everything tenses up, and I
Mhm.
didn't want that to show,
Yeah.
on the stage. And so I think for me, that's how I keep balance with trying to make sure that I also prioritize self-care.
Yeah.
And I do enjoy, Larasha, like you said, doing nothing,
Yep.
sitting on the sofa. Like come Saturday, I'm very much looking forward to that.
Yep.
I feel like I'm supposed to be doing something, but I'm just gonna have to wait for that person to say, "Oh, you such a." Oh, okay, okay,
Yep.
I'll be there. Yeah,
Yep.
that's how that's gonna go.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
Like my mind is trying to catch up with everything,
Yes.
from the
Yes.
week and all that stuff. So, but is there anything, else that you all want to share, whether it's advice to women, anything about your platform, anything else about the pageant, just basically some final words from each of you all before we get ready to close.
I would just say, with my platform again, creating confidence while promoting healing, becoming the best version of yourself. Be sure that you are taking time for yourself. Make sure that you are pouring into yourself just as much as you pour into, everyone else. Find your tribe, and be around and surround yourself around like-minded individuals, and just continue to be you, continue to work on being becoming the best version of yourself.
Awesome. Who wants to go next?
I'll go. So my platform is always, reproductive health and or women's health. Again, as women, we wear multiple hats, and sometimes that gives us, or it takes away the time that we are supposed to be able to get the health care that we need. So I just like to educate women. Speak to your provider about, when is your next breast exam, do pap smear testing, anything like that, and also share your story. You may be surprised with when you share what has happened to you, that someone else may be affected, and then they gain information and insight on what they need to do in the future with their health care as well.
Yeah, and I just want to highlight too, you brought up a good point because a lot of us are afraid to share our story because we're afraid that we may be judged.
Mhm.
Mhm.
But when you do gain that confidence to either share your story or hear somebody else's story, and then that light bulb comes on, like, oh wow,
Yeah.
they do
Mhm.
understand, or oh, it's other people that think the way I do, or that went through what I went through. I'm not
Mhm.
alone, you know.
Yeah.
So yes, I definitely agree with you in encouraging people to share because it could help somebody else. And I'm glad you talked about the healthcare too, because I'll give you an example, like breast cancer. You mentioned that it seems like nobody talks about breast cancer till October comes.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
Yep.
that should be an ongoing,
Yep.
type of conversation.
Topic. Yep.
Yeah, and just like this is Women's Month, nobody highlights women until March, but we
Yep.
should always be highlighting women. You talk about reproductive health. Women is how people got here. Okay,
Yeah.
That's right.
Yep.
so
Amen
let's
to
Yep.
that.
so sorry, I
I
just
agree.
had to put that in there.
Yep.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Yes. Well, Christina.
So my advice is to push yourself to what you think you're capable of or what you allow people to tell you that you're capable of. But then also don't be greater than yourself. Stay humble. Like recognize the people that got you there, and support one another is the biggest compliment and the biggest thing you can do for each other. And I think we've all proven that. And then if I can do it, anybody can do it, right? Just get yourself out there and just you're gonna feel win, not win, whatever, you're gonna feel best about yourself.
Yeah.
And that's that self-love and that self-care.
No, for sure. And I remember you said that when we first started, along those lines too. So I'm glad, like keeping on that same mantra. And that's why you got Miss Congeniality. See,
Yes.
keeping us going, keeping us
Listen, do not get me
going.
crying again, okay? Like, can we just talk about it for a second, my freaking face? Okay, I look back at that video. I'm like, how stupid do I look Okay.
No.
No, you
Oh
look
my gosh.
good. You look good. You deserve
I,
it. You
I
deserve
just
it.
You
couldn't
were
believe it.
happy in that moment.
You were.
That was
Yeah.
I
that was
was.
what do they call it? Candid photo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
Mhm.
shocked. You ladies got me really good, and that's what I said. As soon as the night was over, and I went up to her, it just fell from my face like tears, just
Good.
because the overwhelming joy. And anyway,
Oh,
it's the best moment with you guys.
No, for
You're
sure. We all
awesome.
share that. Daisy, what do you have?
Um, my mission and my passion brought me here without me noticing it. So I just want to continue doing what I do, which is empower women, help them see that they're capable of doing anything they want in life. Sometimes it can be a pageant, sometimes it can be a boudoir photo shoot, it can be anything you want, anything that you want to take yourself to grow in life. And my platform is Our Bodies Are Beautiful, but it's more than just a physical form. It shines through because the beauty, it does come within. And this is true. I help so many women here in my studio. They're
Hmm.
all body shapes, all ages, all backgrounds, and it's incredible how the transformation goes to these women. So when they come here, they think they're not capable of doing something like this or getting out of the comfort zone. But once they leave here, they have that confidence stamped in their face. They're like, wow, I can do this. I can do anything in life. And that's what I want to continue doing. I want to share also to women that they are important, their message should be heard. And like go get your dreams, go after your dreams, go do what makes you happy. And
Hmm.
I hope that I can continue sharing this with everyone.
No, that's awesome. And I love what you do. I mean, I didn't say this before, but like I model on the side, and so many times I've modeled with people sometimes, and they're like ashamed or picking at their body, like, oh, I don't like how this looks or that looks,
Hmm.
but they fail to realize that we are all made, by God. We are, I mean, I don't know what people's faith is or what have you, but we are all made that the way that we need to be made, and just embrace yourself,
Hmm.
and what you've been given, because there's somebody else that's watching you, and to grow you. So I applaud you empowering people in that way. And I know you have the model call, and I know you do the magazine and the calendar, and that's great. Like, just keep putting women out there, because that's, women want to feel sexy. And
Hmm.
Hmm.
sometimes to feel
Yes,
sexy, we rely on a man to tell us that we're sexy, and we need to be telling ourselves when we
Sounds
look in
bad.
the mirror that
Yes,
I'm that
absolutely.
girl.
Yeah.
I want to
Yeah.
say that
100%.
80% of the ladies that come to my studio, they come for themselves. It's not like they're gifting
That's
to a
good.
partner or. And the 20% that come because the initial thought was to gift to a partner, they find out that it is for them after all.
Yeah,
And
100%.
yes, and that confidence that they get out of these is incredible. And I have helped people from many different ages. In fact, the oldest lady I have helped was 76 years old.
Oh wow.
Okay.
76. And she drove from Tennessee to be here at the studio. I'm like,
Okay.
wow,
Mhm.
That's
I am
amazing.
so humbled about that. I'm like, we are doing something right? So
Yeah.
I'm very,
Yes.
very, very proud and very excited to continue doing this for women.
No, that's awesome. Yeah. And, we just got a comment too, basically saying, keep sharing your stories, because our testimonies are a blessing that will change lives. And
Yeah.
that is very, very true. I applaud you all to keep doing, what we're doing, and keep riding the momentum, of it. And I know that when they had the next round for 2026 of Miss Corporate America, Maryland, we'll all be right there guiding and mentoring that next
Yeah.
group, as well. Now, if people want to reach you all and talk more about, like, whether your platform, your businesses, what you do in your careers, or whatever, how can they reach you? And feel free to share any websites or handles that you all have. So whoever wants to go first.
You can reach me. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Nope. Go ahead, Christina.
Okay. You can reach me at Towson, or excuse me, Chamber Towson at gmail.com.
Awesome.
Go
And
ahead.
that will be all listed below for everyone, so everybody can take it down too.
For myself, you can follow me on Instagram, BU Candles Co. And that is candles with an S, Candles Co. You can visit my site, which is www.bucandlesco.com. You can email me. Everything pretty much, if you do follow me on Instagram, everything is listed in my bio. So you can reach me that way. And I'm on LinkedIn as well under my name, which is LaRasha Paul.
Awesome.
For me, you can follow me on Instagram as well. You can follow all the bios are under. I mean, all the links are under my bio. Trina's Trinkets LLC with the paparazzi story. Trina's Trinkets, and I'm gonna put it out there because I work at the health department in Baltimore City. So if you need any reproductive health care, you can come and see me.
Yes.
Yes, people need to know. People need
Yes.
Yes.
to know.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. That's important. We should
That's for another
connect.
episode, but people need to know.
We should
Yes.
correct. We should connect, Katrina. You know, like come remind the ladies in my group about this. I think that would be amazing. You have a very important message to share.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and for me, you can find me everywhere on social media. I'll give my handle, but it's also similar to my website. It is Boudoir by Daisy. It is a little bit of a different spelling, so you have to go into the descriptions and find it because I don't want you to miss that.
No worries. We're
Okay,
gonna have
but we
a caption.
yes, Boudoir by Daisy. If you just type that, you find everything. Facebook, Instagram. I also have a VIP group only for women inside of Facebook. And this is all real local women. People have photographs, people who are still thinking about it, but it's a community. And just like with like-minded women inside there as well, they're incredible. So I invite every woman to also join that group.
Awesome. Well, you all heard it here. We have some amazing women that you got to know a little bit more about, and I'll close with this. The bottom line is don't think that you can't do something. You can do anything that you put your mind to. Get out of your head. And we already talked about just do it, like Nike, just do it.
Yes,
And
sir.
you'll be elated at what comes out at the end, and it'll be worth it. And sometimes it's not about the win, it's about the journey of what it takes to get there. So always keep that in the forefront of your mind. And again, make sure that you like, comment, subscribe. If you have an experience or you have any questions for the ladies, make sure that you follow them, or you can ask the question here and we will get back to you, because look out, world, we have a lot of amazing things to come. And I'll see you on another episode of The Bottom Line Is.
Yes.